like, let's be honest, probably a lot of the old guard, like graybeard jerks, died of COVID, or
Bro,
just
Oh,
that
or
was
just
the best time. The best
or
time to go live.
or
Right when you
won't
just said,
either died or just won't come out. They're like they're
Oh my God.
also with the AI stuff, they're like these are the people who like they are like not you reach a point where you choose, are you old man yells at cloud, or are you like gonna like embrace new technology? And I feel like AI for a lot of those old guard is just like a no.
That's
It's just like a I'm not doing it. I'm not going to a conference and hearing and wearing a mask and being all paranoid with my rebreather 3M thing.
Yeah.
And like then also like hearing pretty much exclusively talks about AI and why it's going to either save the world or break the world or whatever. That's my
so the other big thing is they had the silent disco headsets this year, where if you were going into the main track or anywhere on the main floor, you had to get a headset, and that was how you heard the listeners.
The headsets were on the chairs, but you could also run the Hacker Tracker app, and you could listen.
Did you try?
I did. I didn't try the app.
It was not an easy. Like I tried for like 30 minutes. I'm like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna.
Didn't develop it.
You gotta go sign up for the DEF CON Wi-Fi. You gotta bring over stuff onto your phone. You gotta set those. Honestly, I liked how you could hear everything, and that it was pretty like it was very quiet. It was almost spooky quiet inside the main tracks, but it did feel a little dystopian though. Yeah, that was the one thing, like a little disconnected, but
I didn't go to any. I don't go to DEF CON for the talks. It's like
no way.
What,
you don't like waiting in line for 2 hours to see someone drop a CVE that they already put on GitHub 2 weeks ago?
The last time I was there, you didn't have to wait that long to see it. That's the old DEF CON. You could still like see a lot of these. Like before, it'd be like a line around the block, and you'd be like, "Who cares?" But now you could just literally walk up, and I'd be like, "Oh, look, there's some seats over there."
Now there was no line.
They got Cliff stole.
Yeah. There was no line,
though. I kind of want to see that. I don't know if it was recorded. I kind of want to.
I think it was.
Like when he Ed Scotus got him for one of the conferences we did in DC, and it was one of the best presentations, one of the most chaotic presentations I've ever seen in my entire life. During his presentation, he was walking. I don't even know what the hell he was talking about, to be completely honest with you. But he dropped down into the audience, right? And he's walking around the audience, and he goes by people, and he if they have a coffee cup, he would walk by them, grab their coffee cup, and take a sip of their coffee.
He's like, "Oh, that's Irish coffee."
He would go, "No," and then he would set it down, and he kept going to a whole bunch of things until finally he got to one person's coffee cup. He sipped it and went, and then continued to drink that dude's coffee for the rest of the presentation.
You are being coffee. Do not resist.
That is where I want to be in my career. I want to be that crazy old bastard that can give a presentation that people John,
see. Are you not
that guy already? You're not. Yeah, I was about to say you're not far.
No. Okay, John. Okay, you're missing the old part. What you got to do is you got to have like old John Strand that shows up, like he has like a white wig and he's like, "Hello, youths.
John.
How's the new AI models treating you?"
So you can do the proper old wild man dude.
I shaved my head down again, and I shaved my beard. But during this last week, I let it grow out. There's a lot of white hairs. But somebody was mentioning at the booth, we need to be selling black hats and white hats and old hats. So
that's just mean. Whoever said that is like 18 years old.
I know. I get sick and tired of some of these young hackers calling me out as a boomer. I'm like, you don't even know what that fucking means. And I'm not a boomer. Let me explain to you why.
Let me explain to you how I drank out of hoses for 10 years.
But I am. I
love lead.
Listen, let me explain to you. This
is we going to talk about the goons though, like in the actual show? Because I want to talk about that. I think it's important to have that conversation.
All right. Yeah.
So
shout out to the goons. They're awesome. They did great.
They did great.
I will say they're probably going to have to rebrand because if we're being honest, this is something, I don't know if this is like maybe the boomer, generational gap, but goons, it means something different in 2026. And it's not good. It's not, you like.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Like, then it just turned on.
I think it actually kind of got started because The Simpsons had a joke where someone came up to the Simpsons house and like knocked on the door and was like, "Who's that? Who's there? Goons." Who?
Yeah.
And they go, "Hired goons," and then they like open the door.
It's basically probably gonna have to get rebranded. Like it's one of those things of like
right now.
If the modern terminology overtakes your terminology, you kind of just have to change, right?
Like
or
Zeke
wait 10 years.
What was Zeke, bro? He used to be called bruh.
Well, I think all right. So they didn't rebrand their name, but I think they have rebranded their attitude, and I think that's what you were getting.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
Yes.
As a whole, right? They may have not changed the name, but the overall, and I think it's two things. I think it's one, the size, the amount of people.
Hey, we gotta stop. No, Ralph, wait until after the finger.
To what?
To talk about this. Wait till the finger comes out.
No, I think this counts as pre-show. We don't need to. There's no article that says goons are nice.
Yeah, there's no article.
John, you have to write an article that's just goons are nice now? Question mark and publish it. Publish it to Black Hills InfoSec,
I'll
and then
do that.
we
I'm
can talk
putting that on
about
my
it.
list tomorrow. I will publish an article. Goons are nice now, and I will put that up.
Honestly, though, I do think it's good to talk about. I like you as the person who does Wild West Hack and Fest and was like, we had to start this because people were jerks. It's like, I guess people aren't jerks anymore. All right.
Oh,
You're a
people are still
trendsetter.
jerks.
Yeah.
You're trendsetters. I just think that they had to kind of come together in the sense of there was a lot of public pieces about what the conference was and what they were doing, and there was some other stuff unrelated necessarily to goons that they had to like make a moral compass on, right? Whether they're going to let these people into the conference and other stuff. And, I feel like it's really difficult to, make those moral compasses and then have your essentially representatives of your organization, going against those, ideologies.
Agreed.
Yeah, that gets difficult, right?
When you have a code of conduct saying don't be an asshole,
yeah,
and you have a group of people that are just like assholing it up, you're like,
there should be somebody to talk to about it, and I think that might be a piece of it, right? Well, I know some personal friends who I found out I didn't even know they were goons, and I was like, holy crap. But like it didn't really matter at that point, but I do see like the perception versus the reality. And
because you don't see gooner, it's just you look at all people.
exactly
Judge,
yes,
non-goon status,
very much.
Judge you much.
So are we ready? We just lost Corey.
We lost Corey.
We lost Corey.
I think it's his new doc. It's just not docking with him.
Dawkins?
Over.
Yeah, he got like a new doc.
He was saying his doc wasn't working. That like his camera's going out. It was overheating or something.
Technical difficulties.
We'll wait. We'll give him 2 Mississippis.
2 Mississippis.
Oh, there we go. I just admitted him in. Hopefully it's the real Corey Ham and not a deep fake. Yay!
Ooh. Did your deep fake break?
I think my Mac might be dying, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
And this is it.
I recommend getting a new one. So let's just not even do the finger. Let's just keep rolling.
No. Let's do the finger. Come on.
Okay, let's do the finger.
John, you're trying to come in here and throw away
Do the
this
finger. Don't do the finger.
We
Let's
got
call
this.
the whole thing off.
The show must go on. Hello and welcome to Black Hills Information Security's Talking About News. It's August 10th, 2026. And we have a beautiful, beautiful day. It's half the country's on fire. The other half has a 90% humidity with 90% chance of thunderstorms every day.
That's my
DEF CON's over. We're all back. It was a beautiful 112 degrees the whole time. John Strand caught on fire a couple times while he was mountain biking, but he survived.
It was awesome. I tried to avoid the fires by biking at 4:30 in the morning with bike lights. And it was 90 degrees at that point. So it was flipping hot down there.
So it makes sense. We should definitely do a conference there.
Okay. No, we're not doing a conference in Vegas. That's not going to happen. So there's plenty of conferences in Vegas. Vegas is well represented.
Yeah, they have plenty of conferences. I think John's right. You can pretty much do it anywhere else and it'd be more exotic.
Yeah. People are saying the classic line in the Discord, which is that, it's a dry heat. Anyway.
Go mountain biking. Go mountain biking.
It's not dry if you don't.
It won't be dry for long.
We'll die.
All right. So introductions. My name's Corey Ham. I'm the director of continuous pen testing at Black Hills InfoSec. We got Bronwyn, the director of AI agents at Black Hills InfoSec. We got Kip Boyle, CISO. Where are you the CISO? Or are you just everywhere? You're the CISO.
Well, I've got my own company called Cyber Risk Opportunities, and I've got about 24 customers that I CISO for.
Fantastic.
So you're CISO X24. Most people are just 10X engineers. You're a 24X engineer.
I was talking to a good friend who just wanted one CISO. You're like the Tom Brady of CISOs. There's going to be a lot of hate for you, Kip.
He's beat the North Koreans. Good job.
I wish I had 24 full no kidding paychecks.
Yeah, you got to try. Your title would be North Korean operator.
Yeah. At that point.
Yeah. We also have John Strand, the director of Being John Strand. I think that's his official job title.
I thought he was the lead intern.
Wade, like, what's your actual job title? Is it just like through logs?
Like how Langton looked at the camera like, I actually don't know.
I actually recently got promoted.
Product development lead. You could.
You knew it. You knew it.
Wait, how did you know it, Ralph? What's going on here?
That's a marketing function, isn't it?
He got the memo.
I manage logs and detections.
Oh, laser specialist. I see you.
Laser specialist. That's a way cooler job title. I need to switch.
There is a guy named Wade Wells that is a laser specialist for AWS.
Ooh.
Why does AWS have lasers and why?
Okay, turns out I don't know, dude. I can't read. I don't know. Anyway, enough about Wade's personal life and job title. We also have Ralph, whose job title appears to be Laser Gator Hunter.
Yes, I'm working on it. It's AI Laser Gator Hunter.
Okay, yeah. You can fix anything with a laser. We know this. I think the first article we should talk about, I don't know if you guys even saw this, but I think it's the continuation of the most interesting news articles about AI agents doing things they're not supposed to do.
Just keeps
Which one?
So the OpenClaw one, the Australian OpenClaw.
That wasn't the one I wanted.
The OpenClaw might. So basically, here's what happened. A man who is very high definition in this picture.
He looks AI. Is that?
He looks kind of AI generated, but we don't know if Australia is real. We're going to assume this is real. But yeah,
down under.
Basically, a guy was running OpenClaw, as you do, because you can't be bothered to do anything yourself these days. You have your AI assistant do it for you. And he asked for a spot in one of his gym's coveted morning classes. I'm assuming it was, I don't know. Like I'm thinking of,
it was
I can't even think.
Yoga,
Pilates, hot yoga.
It was a hot flow yoga, is what he was.
So
trying
anyway, he asked his AI agent to get him a booking, and the AI agent said, "Okay, I got you a booking. By the way, I had to cancel someone else's booking." Using a web application vulnerability that I discovered. And by the way, here's a big pile of CVEs for you. So like I basically, I think, the details are a little bit sparse at this point, right? Like this is kind of, there's two takes here. One is this is F12 hacking. Like to some degree, this is kind of like F12 hacking, which is like, for those under a rock, that's basically looking at the page HTML source code. It says, here's the password. Now you have the password. You're a hacker. You're getting prosecuted. But on the other hand, is it F12 hacking? Like this person did not ask the AI to hack anything. He didn't say, exploit vulnerabilities or, like he didn't even say like, you must book this at all costs, continue. Like he didn't give it a prompt that backed it into a corner, right?
I do feel like this article's kind of pulling at straws. I mean, like you could accidentally do that. Like any of us could accidentally do this. Like you don't need.
There was no auth.
Yeah,
it just looked at the API, looked at the Swagger docs, and did what it's not even really hacking, right? Like it's
just an over-eager intern.
Yeah, I like how we're pooping on the AI's hacking. It's like AI, this is just stuff hacking. Like, this isn't impressive. Go hack
it. The fact that it went and it on its own unilaterally decided to access the API to boot another person out of their appointment in order to get one for
but there was no auth,
favorite
so that's
human.
Not hacking. There was
I love how it said, it's like, I found through the API that I could cancel other people's reservations. And it says something like, bad news, I can't add them back.
Bad news. So, okay, the interesting discussion here, first of all, it does say that they were using Anthropic models. So we don't know which one. My guess is it was Opus 5, because that Opus 5 loves to hallucinate, and it's not the best. I had to switch off of it personally. But I think they turned up the aggression on Opus 5 just a little too high, and they were like, we're going to be OpenAI. No. So it wasn't DeepSeek, it wasn't Quen, or it wasn't one of these like open models that everyone's scared about. It was, it was our models,
but it
guys.
was Hermes.
No, it was OpenClaw, not Hermes.
Oh, sorry, I said corrected. It was OpenClaw.
Different, different agent.
And OpenClaw does have a history.
Well, I mean, if you tell a model to do something, it's going to do it. It doesn't have a concept of right or wrong
to do it, right? And if you're like, it didn't work, it's going to be like, all right, I'll try it again. Sometimes it'll be like, we've been working on this for like 3 hours. You sure you want to keep going?
I'm the only person on the planet who keeps my AIs on a short leash.
Yeah, I told Claude I wanted to be an astronaut, and it hasn't happened yet. So,
You are not the only person on the planet, but you are probably the only OpenClaw user that keeps their, because OpenClaw is explicitly saying, let it rip. I will say that the interesting thing is, should he be held criminally? Was there even a crime? Like, is this hacking? Not
this
really,
is no
right?
different. Honestly, this is no different than the people that are like getting in car accidents with Teslas. Like Shanahan, I think, as a coach in San Francisco, I believe, got into a car accident, and he's like, autopilot was on in my car. Like, you're still going to be held liable, right? It's your computer. So yes, I'm going to say they're going to be held liable.
I agree with that. I don't necessarily think there was a crime committed here. Like, obviously, it's not like illegal to cancel people's gym bookings. I guess you could. There's probably a scenario where you could just call and be like, "Hey, this is Stanley. I need to cancel my 8 a.m. Pilates and like cancel someone else's reservation." Right? Like, is that illegal? I don't think it is. It's just like being a dick. So I mean, basically, but the question, the reason this popped off in a news article is because hypothetically, everyone's asking the questions that they're asking about OpenAI's containment breach, Meta's containment breach, Anthropic's containment breach. Basically, the question of like, what are the rules of engagement with agentic AI? What is the model trained to do, etc. But
this is one of those things I keep talking about, because whenever we're talking about Anthropic or OpenAI, we're missing the entire conversation, right? Everyone's trying to say, well, we need to focus on these two. How are they going to lock things down? There was, of course, the black hat talk from the guys at OpenAI, which was very political in what they said and what they did not say. But the point that everyone's missing is this capability of an obliterated open weight model that anyone can run on enough hardware is basically Prometheus bringing fire to everybody. Everybody has it. Or if you want me to get a little bit more obscure, I could say like Gully Foyle bringing pyre and throwing it out at the end of The Star's My Destination. When we're looking at this, like, this is not something that people are going to legislate. This is not something that people are going to be able to deal with. And I was having another conversation with somebody else at BHS, because we're getting some refusals in some of the commercial models that we're using. We just pivot to a different one, and that's fine. I think eventually this is going to get, these open weight models for offensive security are going to get shut down in Bedrock. Because all it takes, because we've already, look at what we like with Amazon, with IP gateways and Kinesis and like all of the different things that they're running, Lambda functions. We were using that for pen testing for a long time, and Amazon basically came out and said, no, you're not doing that shit anymore. And I think that we're going to see these, like the commercial models like OpenAI and Anthropic, locking it down for everybody. And then I think you're eventually going to see Amazon Bedrock is going to be like, no, you're not going to run offensive AI. And then what the hell do you do for the rest of it? Because once again, somebody can run it on a really good MacBook Pro. They can run it on a DGX Spark from NVIDIA. So what the hell are we going to do to try to restrict this down? I think the fire is out, and it's out in the public. It's running wild. And I don't think there's any way other than trying to shore up our defenses to deal with this. Wade, you are definitely the person.
That being said,
side on this, because I think that's where it gets interesting.
I want to talk about the call to action from that OpenAI call, right? At the very end, they talked about how we need to start figuring out how we can get defense to move as quickly as offense in the AI space, right? Which is horrifically hard, I still think. There's so much configurations and so many ways you can augment yourself with the AI, but it requires a lot of setup still and a lot of allowance from different organizations. But it'll be interesting if the shit, like, there's so many AI SOCs, right? Like, I want to see something else. Like, there's a couple cool detection engineering ones. Like, I still think there's enough room out there for AI and blue team to innovate, but there hasn't been really. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't want to get too deep into the weeds on this, but I had a long conversation with Dave Kennedy about this. And just so you know, there's going to be a debate between Dave and myself at Wild West Hacking Fest. It's going to be moderated by Ed Scotus. And Dave's contention is going to be that
no bench press. This is just a verbal debate.
Yeah, no, yeah. If there's weights on the stage, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
No, I use the joke. I think I've said it on the show. I know I can outclimb Dave. I know I can outbike Dave. I can probably outswim Dave. I just hope to God I can outrun Dave. So it's a joke that I've used way too much. I need to stop. But Dave's contention, he's got some data. He's bringing some stuff to the stage. I think he's going to lose. I do. But his contention is that defensive AI is going to be more powerful than offensive AI. And I don't see that. Right? I don't see that for a while.
I agree with you. I don't think it'll be for a while. And it's just because the Godzilla, like the 10,000 pound gorilla that internal IT is, right? Like one of the first bots that we wrote was something that scrapes notes to try to threat model our network and to try to find stuff that we should have logs for that we don't, right? And of course,
that got shut down immediately by IT.
It did not. So that was the cool part, right? So we started building up all these super specialty AIs that try to help us augment to fill the holes. But the thing is, it's IT. There's always going to be holes. There's always going to be gaps. And I think the red team will be able to find those quicker. So it's just, how do we build a defense to catch them somewhere else, right?
I think that AI is not better at offense than it is at defense, right? I think you can flip that coin over and over again. But I think Wade, and I agree with you, what you're kind of hitting at is the organizations that are having to implement this, they're moving slow. It's not that the AI can't be good at defending. It's the organization is already behind and not ready to implement these things to bring them to catch up, right?
We already have
we have an AI problem. We have an organization problem.
We already have an industry-wide cadence of being outgunned and struggling to keep up as blue teamers, and I don't see that changing because AI showed up. I think I think that pattern's going to continue, and we're just going to see that there's new tooling, but I don't think it's going to change the heart of it.
It could be like an evolutionary moment where only the people who are good with AI survive.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where we're headed.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen anyway, because that's what happens with any new emergent technology. I mean, we've seen it dozens of times, and
are you telling me horsewhip manufacturers are going out of business?
Oh no!
So sorry.
I don't believe you.
I
think of courses will last. These stupid automobiles, they can only go 20 miles an hour, Bronwyn.
I do think that the blue teamers haven't fully utilized the potential of AI, and having looked at so many pen test reports where the organization doesn't even know their own infrastructure. That's exactly the kind of thing that should be on a cron job, and have an agent going in, check the perimeter, see what's new, see what's not behaving, and then report it to a human so they can follow up on what needs to be followed up. That's a type of grunt work that human teams don't have time to do, and it's exactly the kind of thing that agents could be spun up to do to take the load off of blue teamers.
I think you just nailed it, and I want to get Kip's take on this. I think you just nailed it, but I think that instead of using AI to do these grueling tasks of doing this kind of like good homework, good hygiene, people are like, I want an AI that's going to stop all attacks against my environment all the way through. I want something that's going to look at all my logs. It's going to unify all the logs. It's going to see everything. It's going to give us 100% visibility, and it's going to stop all attacks. Instead of saying, I want an AI that's just going to do asset inventory in my environment. And I wanted to hook into these data sources and pull it back, make sure that works. Now I want an AI that makes sure that we can scan, we can identify API endpoints, and we're getting logs off of those API endpoints. Like, that's boring AI work. I think that everyone is trying to go to the cool, sexy AI work. And I think that there's a lot
what?
You guys are ruining my talk.
Sexy
all right?
is great on cool and sexy is great
For
on
scooping
commercials,
ways.
but you know what? Good security, good governance, good governing is boring. Get over it.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
girls, everybody should come to the offensive side because it's always fun. But I want to get Kip in on this as a guest because we hear each other all the time, and Kip is like he's like a CISO and
25 times CISO. He's got to know so much.
On this.
He said 24. Did he get another client while we were talking?
While we were talking,
yeah, I just brought him on retainer, Corey. It's 25 now. It's quarter of 100. All right, Kip, take it away, man.
I can't help but to think that there's a bigger issue here, which is human beings don't like being proactive. They're not interested in being proactive. And so it doesn't matter how good things, proactive things are that are around and available. It goes back to the old marketing principle that people don't buy vitamins, they buy aspirin. And so even though we've got these agents that can get proactive, it's the human being that isn't interested in setting it up. Yeah, I think that's a huge theme behind all this.
Chip, someone should put you on a panel.
Yep. I'm writing that down for my debate with Dave.
We'll plug this while we're here. John Strand led us right down this pathway. The AI Summit Friday, Kip's going to have a panel with 4 other individuals, and you can hear more discussion, probably just like this. I'm not going to guarantee there's going to be this exact question asked, but if I was a panelist, I would ask this question just to throw a big Molotov cocktail in the conversation and then walk away.
And by the way, we're already at 5,500 registrations for the summit. Like, it's
and only 25,000 of those are AI.
Only 25,000.
It was over 6,000 at this point.
Over 9,000.
You need to talk about your math skills.
Well, let's not talk about my math skills, bro.
No,
Corey, not John.
No.
Corey.
Hold on. No, I asked AI. It said that was accurate. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
Well, are you saying I had to use a sub agent to verify the math? What am I, a genius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to recommend an abacus.
Do we want to talk about all of them?
Yeah, let's pull this. Yeah, let's pull this back a little bit, because during that discussion, multiple news articles came up into my brain. The first one is there was a news article in the Register that basically was like everyone's distracted with AI and they're getting hit by ransomware. Basically, is like that is actually happening. Basically, in July, this is the article: 20% increase in ransomware attacks in July from 668 in June, which again, these numbers are shocking, up to almost 800 incidents. We've talked about it on the news, right? There's all kinds of articles. Deep Strike. There's new ransomware threat actors coming out that weren't around before. So like,
shiny.
You know, at the end of the day, guess who's not doing, like, this is the thing. You can't say, oh, it's defensive AI versus defensive AI. What it actually is just all of offense versus all of defense, and you don't necessarily need AI to get ransomware. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, maybe they used ransomware for some of the ruses, or sorry, maybe they used AI for some of the ruses, or like, I'm sure AI assisted in some way. But what we're not talking about is fully agentic ransomware. Like AES 256 doesn't need AI to encrypt all your files, right?
That's true.
So like, as far as like, are blue teams obsolete or whatever? Obviously not. And in fact, us focusing on all these stupid CVEs is actually pivoting us away from, social engineering, phishing, account compromises, like the bread and butter stuff that SOC and blue teamers have had to deal with for years.
I think what's going on here is the attackers are using AI to increase the frequency of their attacks. They're still using the basic.
And the cadence. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I a lot of my customers are actually in the broader manufacturing industry, and they barely know what they're doing when it comes to cybersecurity. And so one thing that I'm definitely seeing going on here is they're just not, yeah. There's so much lack of awareness out there. The only people that I talk to are the ones that have either been directly burnt by a ransomware attack, or they had a good friend who got directly burnt and couldn't go golfing with them for a week because they were locked down in their building trying to get their systems back up again. There's so much cluelessness out there about this. I think we have a lot of what we need to resist a lot of ransomware attacks. We just don't do it.
So I agree with that, Kip. And I think that what we're seeing here is the fruits of the labor of absolutely trying to meet the bare minimum, right? I remember years ago, an organization I used to teach for, they had a class called Meeting the Minimum. And it was a huge seller because everyone wanted to look at a compliance standard and basically be like, okay, I get it. There's 400 pages. Like, just tell me what's the minimum I need to do in order to be compliant. And I think that worked kind of because a lot of the attacks that were out there had to be somewhat intentional with some examples, some kind of like exceptions around automated malware and some worms. But what's going on now, I think, Kip, and I think that just kind of reflecting back what you're saying is, the quote used to be, I don't have to be the fastest guy in the woods. I just have to be the guy that's faster than the slowest guy. Am I right?
Right.
And with AI, as I've said multiple times, the bear now has a jetpack and an AK-47 kills indiscriminately.
Yeah.
So these all meeting the minimum and just kind of flying under the radar because you're a small county in like wherever state.
And no one would guess. No one would guess our domain.
Yeah.
Now, well, see, the economics of attacking people are so in the favor of the attackers that it costs nothing to attack anybody, no matter how big or how small they happen to be. And again, this is something else that senior decision makers at a lot of places don't understand because they still think about, well, they'll never come after me because I'm too small. And that's because they think, well, I'm not going to try to sell to small orgs. I'm going to try to sell to big ones because that's where that's where I'm going to get the most bang for my sales dollars, that I spend. So their head is not in the game at all. They just don't get it.
Well, sorry, I'm putting down a shirt idea of a network's network, no matter how small, for exploitation.
Yeah. And by the way, speed is the new firewall. That's what I'm telling my customers. Speed is the new firewall.
Speed.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
You got to get fast because they're getting fast coming after us. And John, to your point, it's like, who cares, if you're not the fastest runner, as long as you're faster than that other guy, you're going to get out of the woods okay. And I think that absolutely applies here. You got to be fast at patching. You got to be fast at detecting when something bad's coming at you.
The patching one is also kind of interesting. Like before, historically, you'd be like, don't patch right away because what if there's a bug? Oh my God.
Of course.
Right? But now it's like, if I don't patch right away, I'm just going to get attacked right away. Like I'll be the first one to get mowed down because I didn't auto patch, right?
I know CISOs who have said, the risk of not patching is now greater than the risk of tipping over a box or two or taking a service offline. So it's flipped.
Yeah. I think,
I have an unpopular opinion.
No,
we are never,
really?
ever. Yeah, I know. Shocking.
No.
We are never, ever, ever going to get people to do security well until we make it easy. So long as we force our users to make multiple decisions about, gee, is this the right link to click? Is this the right button to click? And all of this stuff, until we make it easy for people at multiple levels, but most importantly at the user level, we are never going to do security well. And the acceleration of red team and malicious attacks, courtesy of AI, has really shown a spotlight on this weakness.
Well, that was
I mean, I asked OpenClaw to fix my network, and it just turned everything off. It was great.
That's the number of people out there losing their life savings is is unbelievable. People are losing so much from these catfish scams, these romance scams.
Yeah, but I don't feel that bad
for them
because a lot of them are losing money on Kelshi and other online betting forums. So
I guess my point.
I'm going to make a bet on that, John. How many people are losing money?
I guess my point is that until a person experiences it for themselves, they don't get it.
Well, it's the German quote: "Those who will not learn must feel."
Yeah. Well,
I think that's just human beings.
To draw this a couple conclusions, I think, first of all, if you are a practitioner in cybersecurity and right now we're in a unique time in cybersecurity, which is that our leadership, regardless of, that CISO or whoever person doesn't know about ransomware until they're not golfing because they're dealing with ransomware, they do know about AI, and you can use that to your advantage because they're going to come to you asking, what are we doing for AI? And that's your time to say, oh, we're going to fix all the 10 years worth of BS that I've been telling you about that you wouldn't let me fix. And we're going to do it because AI, right? Like AI is the thin end of the wedge. Use it to your advantage. You can get AI to drive any narrative that you want. You could say, oh, we really have to fix our unsupported operating systems because AI. We really have to start patching things because AI. We really have to fix our firewall rules because AI. Like, this is your opportunity.
AI is the new Sysakev.
No.
Yeah, it's exploitable by AI. That's right. You can say, you go ask AI if this is a concern because AI thinks everything's a critical. So if you just tell your leadership, well, you ask AI, do you think this is a security vulnerability? Here's my report, and it'll be like, this is a critical. Oh my God, what's going on? So yeah, like basically, never let a good disaster go to waste. AI is a little bit of a disaster, but the other. Oh, go ahead, Kip.
I'm just going to go, yes, never let a good crisis go to waste, because that's when everybody's open to doing something they've never done before, so that this thing that they're going through is never going to happen again. See, that's another example of pain moves people to do things they never would have done when they're not feeling pain. You are right.
Wait a minute.
So the other thing I would say is
HIS management axiom, Kip. 25, you all. 25. Pain moves people.
So the other thing I would say is that, it's not, I'm going to, this is a little bit of like a legalese technicality, but I think AI will make defense better through offensive actions. Like, because what I'm seeing at a lot of my companies is that people who don't otherwise do pen testing are like, I asked the AI to find vulnerabilities in our apps and it found a ton of vulnerabilities. And now I have all this ownership over all these discoveries of vulnerabilities that are things we've never pen tested, never seen, never been looked at. Everyone's a pen tester. Welcome to the party. Sorry, report writing sucks. It's okay. You'll get used to it. But yeah, basically, part of how offense makes your defense better is by letting everyone find vulnerabilities in everything all the time and just living in that pain that we're talking about. Live in it, let it sit in, let it sink in, and just feel the pain.
So and I'm scared about that because this gets into the question of just exactly how much tech debt has the entire IT industry collected.
A lot.
Oh my God,
a lot.
Oh jeez.
But they had tech debt before AI. AI just amplified.
I was going to say, AI just brings it all out into the open and also helps you fix it, right?
All it did was pour gasoline and light the match.
Yeah.
Some of the most boring
the fuel
things
was already there.
Yeah, some of the most boring things are still going to be boring and have to be fixed, but they can be fixed faster with AI.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that AI itself isn't really, it's pretty neutral. It doesn't.
Nope, we lost Corey.
Oh, they got him. The AI got him.
Yeah.
AI got him. His doc, I think his Mac actually died.
OpenClaw.
And I hear his point, though.
Though they're
saying,
bad Mac.
Yeah, well, we'll have to shuffle on without him for a moment.
He's there. His audio works for a second.
Hopefully he'll come back.
I'll be back. I got to unplug my Mac
back
to get video back, but I'm alive. Keep going. I think you all should talk about the next article, which is definitely about, I think if it were me, I would go and talk about the backlash against meta glasses, because we talked about that last week.
Oh,
Or flock stuff.
The pervert glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happened? What happened now? I mean, I know the DEF CON thing, but what else happened? Like, what was the backlash about the perf glasses? Was there like more?
Well, there's a company out there that's selling glasses that are, what do they call it? Is that it? No. There's a company out there that's selling glasses they're like ordinary glasses, but they're selling them as like non-AI or the anti-pervert glasses. I gotta find that. It's brilliant.
I did think it was interesting. They had signs all over DEF CON saying that you're not allowed to use these glasses anywhere.
Yeah.
I think this is coming.
I
think it's right now you can easily identify these glasses. They're clunky, they're large, they're awkward. But I think augmented reality is going to happen. I think
it's going to turn into like the cell phone, right?
Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Gary Vee says, but I'm not so sure.
I know that some companies have been experimenting with contact lenses that can provide enhanced vision stuff, and I fully see that kind of implementation for these AI enhanced things being just a matter of time. And it's a classic problem. We've got this new technology. How long before it becomes undetectable using normal observational means that a typical human would have?
That's what it's going to have to get to if it's going to actually spread.
And then that was like when cell phones first came out, you could record. People would be like, "Oh my God, look, they're recording" or whatever. I mean, like it was probably it was a lot less intense because you could see that somebody was holding something, right?
It was very odd.
Yeah, but still, though, I mean, the glasses are the same way. And the other thing too, and this is another article that came out recently, is OpenAI is developing a assistant, right? And one of the things that they're trying to develop in their assistant, which has no screen, by the way, is a camera so it can see around it to give it context on what's going on to help you with the events, all right? Or to help you with that. Now, whether you want that or not, that's totally independent. I'm just saying that little cameras that can observe what you're doing, and then that augmented reality, not just information, but also like being able to like assist you in that moment by being able to see. Like most of the people, when you're using an assistant and you need help with something, you just take a picture of it and send it to it. What if you didn't need to take that step? And that's where this is kind of going to go. So,
hey, Corey, can you show the DuckDuckGo anti-pervert glasses link that I just dropped into the chat?
Ryan can. I'm not authorized for that kind of.
He's not allowed to touch the thing. What's the thing?
I don't click links. I don't even know how. Yeah. Here, pull it up.
I can share it to Discord.
Oh, anti-pervert glasses, just regular glasses. Got it.
Then published August 1st or August 4th, not April 1st.
I love it. Zero AI, cameras, or electronics at all. What a novel concept!
And unlimited battery life.
Unlimited. This is like a modern day version of a manual transmission right here.
I think to close up the meta thing, I think the most interesting thing, and this is the same thing as the flock stuff, which I don't think we'll get that deep into, but basically society has decided, yo dog, that was the line. This is the line. This is what we're going to put up with, and this is over the line. And that applies, like the meta glasses is definitely getting some backlash, and we've seen like even content creators that use the meta glasses are getting like like people are like, oh, I don't support you. Like they're losing subscribers because they're streaming on the meta glasses.
But Corey, it takes one Pokemon Go. Like it takes one killer app to completely change everything. Right?
What is it going to be called? Goon while you're a goon? I don't know.
Yeah, goon while you can, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah, I was hanging out at an insurance conference recently because that's where I get some customers sometimes. And there was a woman walking around and she had the meta glasses on. And I walked up to her and I said, are those things turned on? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you've got the meta glasses on. I can see that you do. And she goes, oh, most people have no idea that I'm wearing them.
They're big and bulky and they look very obvious.
I have a pair of them. They do light up when you're recording. They're not
unless you poked its eye out.
Yeah, there's a way to. Yeah, they They're not that bulky, but the thing is, as that technology does improve, it will get to the point where you can't tell, and it will start to discriminate people who are just wearing glasses. Okay, so like eventually, it's gonna be.
Well, I guess my point is that a lot of normies don't understand what's going on yet.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's totally true. I think that's the same thing with like any new technology, but the biggest thing is like we need to come up with a DOS for like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, okay, so I'm sitting on the subway next to someone wearing meta glasses. I don't want to be recorded. What do I do? Like, what if I just say this? And I know there's already a joke that I'm getting to about what you can do, but my idea was I'll just start listing like PHI. I'll be like, hello, yes, oh, you're my doctor. My social security number is 657, whatever. But the other thing, the joke, this is like in the internet now, is people have just been playing Disney copyrighted songs.
Oh my God.
That's basically the hack, the denial of service is just start play Disney.
I don't want to hear
songs.
That song. It's a small world.
Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. Anyway,
we built detections in the Tala software for detecting meta glasses, like your ear pods, all of those things. Like you can see where they are and around. So they actually are. My point with this is that they are very fingerprintable, right? Especially with the low amount of them out there. So
for sure, but it's just like everyone's saying, where like at a certain point it doesn't matter.
At a certain point, I can detect LTE signals. Okay, cool. Everyone's got one, right?
You're not gonna believe this. Everyone has AirPods. Yes,
exactly. An LTE signal in the room with you right now.
Yes. That device
5G.
Well, we have DF software to actually run down devices that are transmitting on LTE and at different at different time intervals and all this other fun stuff. But when you're in a room with a bunch of people, there's a bunch of cell phones everywhere, right?
So no one should take this. Do not. I want to be clear in the public. Do not make an entire channel where you fox hunt down people wearing meta glasses and then put a little sticker on their back that says I'm a pervert.
Do not do that. Never do
Don't do that.
Never do that.
All right. So anyway, pivoting, I do want to talk about friend of the show and interesting research. Dirk Jan Malima has published an interesting blog about basically passkey theft. So, in security, we presented passkeys as this silver bullet, and of course, anytime there's a silver bullet, there's
Microsoft to mess it up.
So here's a silver bullet. Challenge accepted.
Okay, that is very true. This is Microsoft's implementation of a silver bullet. That is true.
Still made it
super interesting. This is a super interesting article. Basically, essentially, if you don't know what RoadTX is, if you're not into cloud exploitation, look it up. It's amazing. If you're a hacker, it's a Swiss Army knife of Azure pwnage and Entra, Azure Active Directory pwnage. It does a ton of different things, but basically he's added in capabilities to potentially borrow some Windows Hello keys for authentication, and it's worth reading. This is not the only passkey article from this week. There's actually a grouping. We're seeing, someone even wrote like a meta article in the Hacker News, basically about, and by meta article, I don't mean like Zuck's yacht with a bunch of sunscreen. I mean,
he can't help anybody who's nearby. I can tell you that much.
There were Spectre Ops published a vulnerability in passkey-theft and MFA-bypass, and also Unit 42 published attacks against the Chrome password manager that can steal passkeys, basically. So there's a lot of research going out into passkeys. They are still better than passwords, and they're still better than
bounds.
It's still better than TOTP MFA, but it's not a silver bullet, right? Like, it depends on the implementation. A key is a key, a credential is a credential. They can be stolen, they can be replayed. It
sounds like you need software to store your passkeys in.
But I don't need passwords anymore, so why would I have a password manager?
Like a digital wallet.
It's a passkey manager now. Passkey manager.
Not what it's on the box.
Or no. I think you should let Windows do it and let them screw it up. It's much more secure that way.
Oh my gosh. Have you? Jesus, I did that last week. Just trying to secure your own your whole intra environment. If you've ever gone down this road, Microsoft makes this the most complex thing ever. I'm not surprised there's 15 more things like passkey for issues, right? Especially with Windows Hello. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they did
Another company that did that.
supposedly fix this. Now, we can probably go and look at the same code base and find 17 other vulnerabilities of the same exact type, but it's got a CVE and it was fixed. So, yay.
Won't happen again.
What else do we got?
It'll never happen again. There's, I guess this is kind of a small thing, but the Snowflake hacker, Canadian guy, waifu, that was his code name online, pled guilty to the Snowflake breaches and is facing up to 30 years in jail. Yeah, so that's that happened last week during DEF CON week.
Ouch.
Yeah, pled guilty, I'm assuming, to avoid, I don't know what to avoid. More jail time?
Yeah, lesser sentence.
Maybe?
Yeah, he probably took a lesser sentence by plea as opposed to going to court and then getting found guilty.
Also, like in most of these digital crimes, if we're being honest, the amount of evidence, it's likely that the amount of evidence this person is facing is just an immense, like there's no hearsay. It's like, we have 7 terabytes of logs. Like, this isn't he said.
We have you in a chat board detailing everything you did step by step to, all of your friends, and it's unencrypted. Like,
the logs don't stop us, but they surely catch you.
This guy was hacking like he was in a jurisdiction that had no extradition.
Yeah,
I mean, it was completely stupid for him to do this in Canada.
Are you telling me young males don't have fully developed frontal lobes? I don't know if I believe you.
I think that's what they're saying.
This would be the first I've ever seen a young kid doing something dumb. It's not like I see them riding around my neighborhood on electric bikes every day doing wheelies.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait until the article comes out where hacker caught and OpenAI subpoenaed for chat logs. Unbelievable. What found?
Yeah.
Guaranteed that's going to happen. I'm just predicting this news story.
Yep. It's already happening. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that happened. I mean, that's like a minor article. Basically, I mean, what else? I'm trying to think. I mean, the passkey stuff is big. There was that router thing we could talk about. So basically, if you own a router made by a company called ZBT-Link, which again, we're talking about normies, right? Like the only people who ever bought this are people who have no concept what cybersecurity is. Like
then there's
no one in this room would ever even consider buying something like this, I don't think. But you never know. But yeah, here's the article. Basically, that turns out there's a backdoor. Who could have predicted this?
They sold a lot of these things.
And I think actually to China. What?
A backdoor to China. So this is like, okay, we saw, what was it? 3 months ago or something, the FCC banned any new router sale that didn't have their magic stamp of approval, which of course this wouldn't have a magic stamp of approval. 100,000 devices worldwide. We don't know what in the US what the count is, but this is the exact kind of thing that the current administration and general politics is trying to avoid, is basically a product that creates a botnet, then a backdoor, and is just a way, how do you hack a US citizen? You sell them a box that just is a, part of a botnet.
Easier.
I'm sure this will be, if you've deployed one of these, there's a CVE. You should definitely patch it instead of taking it out back and killing it with a hit sledgehammer.
If you deployed one of these, you cheap son of a bitch, you could have got a better one.
You could have got, okay, like, come on. You could have got literally, and even just use the free, there's a free router from your ISP. Like, what are you doing?
They probably got this one from their ISP. Let's be serious.
Probably.
Their ISP is like Shenzhen Technology or something.
So, hey man, it's the lowest per unit cost, and I got to buy a ton of these.
What is it? I also saw another article. There was, I think it was the Royal or the.
I just posted it.
Yeah, the United Kingdom Navy. They actually have. They had cameras on their water drones, and they were compromised. Those cameras were manufactured in China, and they were sending information back to China.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were sending a ping and location information.
Yeah. So
it's fine. It's called the Kraken anyway.
How does it get that far where you just didn't notice it pinging, right?
The Kraken.
How many networks is it on?
For the most part, I don't think actual Chinese devices are probably all the home stuff for the most part, all of them. But when you're putting it on military things, okay, they're probably going to turn that one on, right? Like that's the
so
one time.
Probably.
It's just so dumb. It's just so transparently stupid.
You mentioned this in the pre-show banter, and it made me remember that Taiwan is building an entire industry of drones, where they, as a national, survival policy, are not allowing any mainland China components to be in anywhere of these drones.
Same here.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing in the US.
Yeah.
I also do. Oh, I was going to say, go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of the modern drones now that they're designing are designed specifically for GPS denied availability.
Yeah. Fiber optic only.
No, not just fiber optic, vision-based GPS, right? So that they're looking to identify their location based off the vision controls, not just off of a fiber optic cable. Like they're fully in at electronic jamming on those devices.
So I'm speculating here about these cameras, but basically the scenario is that the product was provided by a defense supplier in the UK, which is the same defense people. But basically my guess is that this is totally unintentional. I don't think this is nation state trying to get into a defense I genuinely think they just bought crappy cameras off of Alibaba or whatever and used them in their products, and then realized later, crap, the bill of materials has this in it. That's my guess. I'm speculating about that, but I don't even think it's fair to pin this on China. They're just selling cheap stuff, and it has backdoors in it, and people are dumb enough to actually use it.
Shoddy procurement.
That's what happens when you always go with the lowest bidder.
That's why you got to know.
Literally the military way. You literally.
Why you got to know bid. Don't buy. We got to get rid of that. I got a guy. You can paint the whole reflecting pool over the weekend for $100K. It's fine.
He's gonna kill it.
Yeah. I don't know any other article. I mean, there's a handful of. There's no chicken news. I'm just gonna spoil it. Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I think the thing that's really sticking in my brain right now. We didn't talk about it because I'm just assuming everyone's in the loop. But Meta also announced last week that their AI models hacked someone. Basically,
they literally were dying to announce that.
Me too. My son is also bad
at this point. I think I think when it happened with OpenAI and then Anthropic's we hacked 3 companies. It's now a marketing tactic, which is sad.
Well, okay. So two other quick articles and just hot takes I have on this. So first of all, I think we just have to accept as an industry that there's 2 different audiences. There's the security folks like us, and then there's the AI machine learning engineers who actually build and test these models. I'm increasingly convinced that the security people have never been in the room for any of these conversations or any of these discussions or approvals. Genuinely, you're telling me the most advanced labs in the world don't know how freaking IP tables works or how to use it? That's basically where we're at. The most advanced technology in the world doesn't know how to use the most basic security controls. And I think the reason is the same thing that happened with developers in the 1990s and whatever. Programmers weren't never taught security. So programmers wrote vulnerable code. I think we're in the same boat with AI ML engineers. They went through this course at Stanford that covered, whatever fancy graphs and, numbers and weights and matrices and all that stuff. And at no point during that machine learning PhD did they have to take a class on threat modeling, containment, security, anything like that.
And so tell you this, Corey.
What?
I hate to tell you this. Nothing's changed. Programmers are still not taught security ever.
No, they definitely are. I mean, when I went to college for programming, and I had to take multiple security classes. That is the standard now.
School, but I think that this is just once again the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Where you have people that are, they're really smart in one area, right? Maybe they're developers, maybe they're in AI, and they just assume that they're going to be good at computer security. Right? They just assume that that's going to be the case. And the bigger thing that bothers me about this, kind of riffing off of what you were saying, Corey, is these are the people, these are the organizations that like 2 years ago were like, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. AI is going to be dangerous. It's going to be really, really dangerous. Like literally the CEOs of these AI companies were telling us about the dangers of AI. Elon Musk is like, oh, there's about a 1 in 3 chance that AI is going to wipe us all out. And then they end up setting up these labs with hardly any really good controls, clearly no effing monitoring whatsoever for what the AI is actually doing. And honestly, you know, whenever you look at, I can't remember if it was OpenAI or I think it was Anthropic, that they saw what happened with OpenAI. They're like, we should go check our logs. If they're wading through logs, we should go check our logs and see if something like that happened. Oh crap, it happened 3 times. Once again, it bothers me that we put more controls on our AI that we're using at BHIS than these companies that have literally billions of dollars at their disposal do. But I think it comes back to, they don't think of computer security because they think they're the smartest guys in the room. And because they're really smart in this area, they automatically think it translates into every other area.
I think it's genuinely just lack of literacy. I don't even think it's necessarily that they think they're good. I think they just didn't even consider it.
Okay, so
I would say it's the same point. I would say.
I take a hazard to, having worked in academia and worked with people in that headspace. I think there's also a lot of innocence going along. Like one of the things when I was doing a deeper read into the whole Hugging Face attack, and I finally was able to find out that the researchers gave the specific directive to the models to be the best hackers they could be. The kind of person who's going to do that is someone who has never had to suffer the consequences, and that's a degree of innocence and
there's
ignorance.
Definitely some of that going on. You know what else is going on?
And that I think is part of it, and that's why we need to have more jaded, crusty, pessimistic people like those of us in this room in those rooms with people those young people. Yes. You know, we're jaded. We know how things are going to go sideways despite the best of intentions.
Yeah, but look, there's another thing that's going on is that these senior decision makers are on a happy path. Okay? They want to go public. They want the next biggest customer. They want the next quarter's profit to be bigger than the previous quarter. They don't think about what could go wrong. All they spend their time thinking about is what's going to go right.
They're like I would go one step further. I ever worked with who only ever tested for success.
I mean, I would go one step further and say that my opinion about the current leadership at the AI labs is that they're just completely out of touch with any form of reality in any way, shape, or form.
Well, there's that too.
You see Sam Altman getting toasted in the comments for being like, here's a great AI tip. If your kid expresses interest in a topic, just have AI generate a podcast, and then you can listen to the podcast with your kid. It's like, dude, or you could just freaking talk to your children.
No, don't say that.
But this quote was even worse than that. I think this quote was something like, if your kid's playing soccer games or sports games, have it generate a podcast based on their sports game. And that I don't know how
I want to be clear. I think it was done genuinely with altruistic intent. I think probably 80% of the people who are working at these labs have altruistic intentions. Honestly, I think I'm to a point where like that to me is more concerning. Like I think Bronwyn's take on like we need more like crusty people. Like having an altruistic intent, like thinking your AI is going to save the world. It's not like you got to be careful with that. You know, it's like fanaticism.
I have the pivot. So self-promotion.
Pivot out the door, right?
Yeah. So 1Password came out with a recent research data about the Patch the Planet movement with Trail of Bits and Google, right? So this is a 50-page report about it that if you scroll down a little bit more, Ryan, there's a good pie chart, a little bit more. Keep going. There you go. Right here. Scroll up a little bit so you can see each scenarios. Oh, no. So there's 5 scenarios, right? One, the scenario is the AI patched a vulnerability and it was a complete fix, and it alerts and application behavior alters. It doesn't fix the vulnerability. It completely fixes the old vulnerability, but it adds a new one. And then the third one is it doesn't fix the vulnerability and it adds a new vulnerability.
Talking about that again?
Yeah. So from this data, it seems like it's got about a 50-50 chance to actually fix things. And it's a really good paper. I haven't read the whole paper. I've read a good portion of it, though. So highly suggest it. I just thought it was crazy after looking into it.
Which model is this? It must not be a good model. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. It's always the model. Definitely, it's always the model.
It was the prompt. Their prompt was only sort of fix the problem.
Yes. The what do you call it? The scaffolding, whatever. However
they didn't say make no mistakes. Introduce no security vulnerabilities.
I want to see that Claude Markdown right now. I guarantee I can find the issue.
Yeah, I'll have to take more. I mean, I have to look into this. I mean, I think basically from my perspective, if the less adults there are in the room with AI, the more it's just gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like any youngster.
Let's close out, I think, with some plugs. Obviously, the AI Summit is this week. I think pretty much everyone in this room, other than maybe me and Ralph, are presenting or talking or doing something at it. Wade, you're presenting, right?
I'm not doing anything. All right. I had a lot going on, and I was like, yeah.
Freeloaders Club, what up? But anyway, Bronwyn, Kip, and John, I'm assuming, John, are you doing something for this too?
Yeah, I think I'm wrapping it up.
I should have done a talk. I'm a loser.
Yeah, I'm there for opening. I'm there for a panel discussion.
Been a
and I'm there for closing. So yeah, I'm going to be there pretty much all day. It's a really stacked group. There's some fantastic people there.
It's incredible. I mean,
I'm excited.
I'll be co-hosting with Connor. We've got just tons and tons of people. It's being held on a Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday, the next weekend, we have workshops going on. If you haven't signed up, please check those out as well. It's going to be just a great time.
Yep. It's super exciting. And you will learn something. It might be scary what you learn, but you will learn something.
Speaking of workshops, I'll plug mine. I'm going to teach one in September, how to hunt shadow AI and what to do about what you find.
Ooh.
Shadow AI?
Excellent.
That doesn't exist.
No.
I'm going to my phone now.
All right. Anyone else have anything to plug or any closing remarks?
That's all we got.
All righty. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you Friday, I hope. And if not, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Stay safe.
It was great.
Bye, y'all.